So it looks like Justin Trudeau has even lost the women now, and what does that leave for him? All he ever had to start with was hair and teeth. I mean, that's his entire political strategy. That and calling everybody an ist and a phobe. So what's left for him? I don't know, but if he gets a sex change operation, don't be surprised. So here's a story by Tristan Hopper in the National Post. Here's the headline. Thanks to women, Tories on course for largest landslide in Canadian history. And it just can't come soon enough. Now, this comes after a new poll by Abacus Data, which shows the Conservative Party of Canada is up by 19 points on the Liberal Party of Canada. And if the election were held today, that would make it a huge landslide. So let's take a look at the breakdown by gender here. So you've got men, 47% in favor of the Conservative Party and Pierre Poilievre. For women, it's 38%, and that's in contrast to only 26% support for Justin Trudeau. And that's a backbreaker for him. That's not something he can recover from. And let me tell you something. When it comes to women, once they lose respect for a man, that's it. He never gets it back again. And I learned that by losing the respect of women. Now back to the article. As to what's caused tens of thousands of Canadian women to apparently break with tradition by siding with the Conservatives, the easy answer is that so much of Canada is going wrong right now that is prompting whole demographics to consider voting Tory for the first time ever. Well, stuff like this isn't going to help with a lot of the mums out there. Justin Trudeau dismisses parental rights as far right. He said that back in June last year, and he hasn't really stopped saying it since. It'd probably be better for him if he just stopped talking, actually. And this is interesting. In a March 16th poll that's from last year, from the Angus Reid Institute, some categories showed a 20-point gap between men and women in terms of favorability for Poilievre. The most dramatic spread was among voters between 35 and 54. The men favored Poilievre by 47% against 27%. So I guess the choices become pretty clear and stark. You can have great hair and teeth and become homeless, or you can have decent hair and teeth and not become homeless. And don't forget about the apples. They're good for you. Seems the press doesn't like him very much, though, for some reason. And look, I'm not picking on women here. We know that superficial factors do play a role in politics, and not just for women. It's just that tends to break down a little bit once, your country starts falling apart. And the guy in power, for some reason, says that his opponent just wants to make Canada great again. And as long as he's running things, Canada will never be great again. Yeah, probably should have focus grouped that one. Now, if these latest Abacus data numbers hold, it could easily translate into one of the biggest landslide wins in Canadian history. But it's looking like a very likely landslide in any case, even if the election isn't until late 2025. Because even if Trudeau comes up with some new names to call the Canadians who don't like him, I just don't see any way back. Let's finish this off with some more good news. Under 34 voters were the demographic most responsible for Liberal leader Justin Trudeau securing a majority government in 2015. A mere 9 years later, young voters are now the single most pro-conservative age group in Canada. And I guess that's what happens when you make it impossible for them to ever buy a house or just even pay rent or buy food. And this is all adding up to whether the election is in 2025 or earlier. Justin Trudeau is going to have to find a new line of work. I think he'd do great as a dandruff shampoo model. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please like, share, and subscribe. Sharing really helps me out. I thank you for doing that. I will see you next time.